This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm doing okay. I'm a little thrown off. We're recording on a different day than normal.
You can say the day.
Monday. I'm afraid that Garfield's listening, Tom.
Oh, he hates Mondays.
Yeah.
Famously.
Great. We just lost that.
The Garfield
big orange
demographic.
cat that everybody loves to drink coffee with. Garfield, the cat.
Right.
In the comic, doesn't drink coffee, right? But because he's on so many mugs, they had to write it in.
No, I mean, not in the cartoon, but in the comic strip, I think maybe he drinks coffee sometimes.
I don't know. I've read a lot of Garfield. Have you ever read the book Garfield Takes the Cake?
Yeah, I think so. You recommended it to me.
Yeah, when we were kids, you can do this thing at the library where it's if you read books, you get points or something.
Oh yeah, was that the Pizza Hut thing? Where
Yeah,
you got pizza, books for pizza.
Yeah, and I think they had to change the rule because of me, because I tore through all these Garfield books.
Yeah,
and
why not?
I think they were just limit 2 Garfield books. You have to read other real books too.
Yeah, and you switch over to Peanuts.
Yeah, that was Peanuts was too depressing.
Yeah, they
limited you to 1 Peanuts book, otherwise it'd
for
be
your own safety.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch you.
Yeah, we're recording on a Monday because I'm going away. By the time people hear this, I'm away.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Key West, Florida, baby. Gonna
Nice.
eat some key lime pies till I'm sick and I throw up.
Is that what Key West? Is that where
Key lime pies
come
yeah.
from?
Mm-hmm. Gonna go to Ernie Hemingway's house.
Nice.
See all of his cats, 6-toed cats. Gonna go on the beach. I might go paragliding.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Because you never have.
I know. I've never had the opportunity. I've had the opportunity a few times, but this is the first time in a while I'll have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Unless it's too expensive. I mean, if it's stupid expensive, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. One time my family went on a cruise to Bermuda,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so excited to go. What is that? Paragliding? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
No.
Where they pull you on a speedboat and you're sitting in a parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that so bad, and they were like, yeah, sure, you can do that.
Uh-huh.
And then, no, we got there, and it was just oh, no, you're not going to do that. And that was it.
Well, how old were you?
I was probably I was old enough. I was 12 or 13.
Oh, okay.
I was so angry.
Yeah, my parents would do that sometimes. Tell me.
It's easier. I would do that.
Oh, I would do that for everything.
Sure, you could do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
have this fight now.
Right. We'll have the fight once.
Yeah,
you were
at the worst possible time. But
right, but you were gonna, even if they said no, you were gonna fight again once you got there.
Exactly.
So might as well just do it the one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must
They
be
were it's too windy. I was you need the wind to be up there.
That's safer.
Yeah, if it's calmer, it's dangerous.
Right. I could just drop like a rock out of the sky.
Sharks would eat me.
I'm a little afraid of sharks down there.
At Key West?
Yeah.
And by the way, Key West isn't known for key lime pie, Tom.
Sure it is. What's it known for?
No, it's key lime is the fruit. It's
right.
a type of lime.
Down in Key West.
No. It's also known as a West Indian lime.
They got or a
Mexican lime.
I'm not having Mexican lime pie or what was the other one? New Indian lime pie.
West Indian.
West Indian lime pie. I'm having key lime pie because I'll be in Key West where key lemon.
I like key lime pie. You ever have one of those key lime pies on a stick? This is neither here nor there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why we're recording early. And we're both drinking beers.
Makes no difference to you, the listener.
Right. But hey, now you've probably turned off the show because it's so boring. Anyway, Tim, how are you doing? Oh, I already asked.
Do you want me to say, anyway, Tom, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Have you seen this show on, I'm a bad person. I keep getting sucked into these Netflix reality shows.
Is this going to be the dating?
Yeah, the Love is Blind show. I watched every episode the other day, and they didn't have the last episode up.
Really?
Yeah, the last episode comes out. By now, it's already out.
Did they
once
release
again.
every episode except one?
No, I think they did it over 3 weeks. So I think they dropped like half the episodes, and then the finale episode. This show is great. It's just, you're just watching a bunch of sociopaths go about their lives. It's fantastic.
Now, why do you say that?
Because all these people are mean. All these people have.
You're describing every reality show right now.
Yeah. I mean, this one is, so the premise of the show, for those unfamiliar, is they got like, I don't know, a dozen, 2 dozen guys, two dozen women, straight men, straight women, all around the same age, all like in their 20s, 30s, all single.
The real world?
A little bit like it, because all the men live in a house together and all the women live in a house together. Although apparently, so the interesting thing about the Netflix reality shows is they cut every corner possible. You assume.
Yeah. Have you ever seen any other reality show, Tom?
No, these go further, because you think they're all living in the same house because you see them all in the same like big living room with pool tables and a big kitchen and stuff. But apparently they were just sleeping in trailers outside the whole time. Like that wasn't an actual house. So anyway, they spend.
Who cares?
They spend their days.
Who cares where they sleep?
I care. I want them on their game. For
Did they say like, okay, now off to my bedroom in this
but
house?
it's just, you see this nice house, so you assume, or this nice living room, you assume they have nice bedrooms, and they don't. They spend their days shifting around different rooms where there's a wall between the rooms, and they're going on actually blind dates where they cannot see the person they're talking to on the other side of the wall.
Can they see other things, though?
What do you mean?
Like,
no, you can't
food.
see their body or anything.
No.
Their food?
It's not an actual blind.
No, I guess not. The room is lit. It's not a dark room.
Yeah.
Although this whole show has like the worst lighting I've ever seen on television. It's ridiculous. But they're in
Very
a room.
critical of this show that you love.
That's the only reason I'm watching it. I watch
For the lighting?
I watch this show and just scream at the television the entire time.
Okay. So they're going on a date where they can't see the other person. There's a wall between.
Right. And they
contestants.
spend 18 to 19 hours a day going on these different dates with people.
What? That's not enough sleep?
No, that's the thing. They're sleep deprived.
Okay.
So then at the end of the day, apparently they rank like who they liked. And then the next day they get to spend more time with the people they liked, if they both liked each other. And the premise is, after, I don't know, not that many days, like 5 days maybe.
5 days of dating people for 20 hours a day.
After this, they then
after they in less than a week have amassed over 100 man hours of dates.
Well, exactly. So then by the end of it, they are prepared to propose to the person before they've seen them.
I spoke too soon.
So they propose in some cases, I think 5-6 cases, the men proposed and the women accepted, and then they get to meet in person for the first time, and then they go on a honeymoon essentially, or like a vacation.
Did they get married?
No, not yet. They go on a vacation to Mexico, to like Cancun.
Eat some key lime pie with the Mexican limes.
They go there for a week, and then they go back to Atlanta, and they live in like a condo for a month with the person while they're planning their wedding. And they go and like meet each other's families and stuff for the first time. But every single one of these people, as they're talking, you realize pretty much every person got out of a long-term relationship about 6 months ago and has extreme baggage from that relationship that they only really
That's why anyone gets married in their 20s.
They only really talk about it in the confessionals, not I'm sure they talk about it in the rooms, but they can't show 20 hours of people talking to each other.
It's Netflix. They have unlimited time.
That's true, but they gotta keep it entertaining. They gotta keep it spicy.
Yeah.
But it's great. These people are all maniacs, and they all have a wide variety of different mental illnesses that you're seeing portrayed on the screen. That not mental illnesses, like
in some cases, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like mental illnesses like narcissism, not
Right.
like depression or
I'm sure some. Come
well,
on, Tom.
yeah, but you're not seeing that bear itself out. You're seeing narcissism bear itself out
Right.
amongst these people, and like codependency and their insecurities and stuff. And boy, it makes for great television. Let me tell you.
I don't like watching people who want to be on TV.
No. Well, that's what
Real people. I like watching actors on TV, and presumably they're like, yeah, I'm going to try out for this scripted program, and I want to do it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I couldn't figure out when I started watching the show, how are they...
And I like Candid Camera, too, because those people don't want to be on TV.
Well, these kind of like Candid Camera.
No, they want to be on
Well,
TV. It's like America's Funniest Home Videos. That's what I like. None of those people wanted to. Nobody's like, you know what I aspire to do? Get socked in the nuts.
Well, but then when they hear there's $100,000,
the people that get socked in the nuts on America's Funniest Home Videos never win the prize.
Nor should they.
It's always some kid like mispronouncing penguin for 15 minutes.
Yeah. The voters always go for that kind of schlocky stuff. Well, the people are right there, so it's like they can see who they're voting for. Man, you think any of the families come in and kind of campaign with the audience? Go around, shake hands, glad. Would you like to meet? Would you like to meet the baby that says penguin weird? Would you like to get a photo with that baby?
As a former audience member of America's Funniest Home Videos.
That's not something to be proud of.
What do you
say
mean?
It like it's a big achievement of yours.
What do you mean? Have you ever done it?
No.
Yeah, because you don't own the right clothes.
A junior prom suit.
Exactly. You would show up in jeans and they'd chastise you and tell you to get back in the car and drive an hour and a half back to any place that you would care about going in Los Angeles. They don't bring in the families until the very end.
No.
So those families are they're quarantined.
Probably for
no
that
politicking.
reason.
That might be.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be because that's happened before.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying? The show's good?
Yeah, the show's no, the show's not good. It's trash. It's such garbage. I watched it like all day Saturday. I felt horrible at the end of it. But then I was also
It was a beautiful day Saturday.
I know. I was so mad that there was no that the last episode wasn't up. That was mostly why I was plowing through, because I was like, I want to see how these marriages get destroyed. That was the promise.
I was hanging out with mutual friends of ours, Tom. We were like, should we give Tom a call?
Oh, thanks for the invite.
And the consensus was like, it's already so late and it's a beautiful day. He's definitely off doing something.
No. Tim, this week we're talking about morning routines.
Yeah, welcome to the Tim Ferriss podcast.
we're your
optimize your morning.
We're your
power
favorite
obsession.
Life hack gurus, productivity experts.
Nobody's more productive than the two of us.
No, it's true.
Every week we get together to record 1 hour and 45 minutes worth of content.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes us 6 hours. Then we get hammered.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty productive because we could be, doing those two things separately, but we're multitasking.
Exactly.
I wanted to do this topic because it is a Monday, actually. And, starting off my Monday this morning, I had a terrible start to my day. So my alarm clock, I have a very nice alarm clock. Cost me about $100.
Tom, the amount of times that you've spoken about this alarm clock.
Well, Tim, it was $100. You buy $100 alarm clock, you went to America's Home Videos years ago, and you talk about it every chance you
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, it was funniest. I thought it was just home videos.
No, that would be boring. Somebody's vacation.
So I bought this alarm clock. It brightens up the room with sunlight. Well,
Tom,
not real sunlight. What?
It was a trope in 1980s sitcoms that, right?
What?
That somebody would come over and be like, you want to see pictures from my...
Yeah.
I'll put them on the
projector,
slides.
yeah.
I was with family recently, and somebody showed me pictures from their latest trip. It was great. The pictures looked great. And there were people I liked, and they went to an interesting place and took pictures and were able to show us the pictures of the cool stuff they saw and tell us a little bit about their experiences. It was nice.
Was it up on a projector, up on a television?
It's on a television. They connected like a computer, an iPad or something.
Yeah. Do you think part of the reason why that was a trope was because cameras sucked back then? It was like you were watching it on a projector that wasn't bright enough, and you kind of couldn't see what was happening.
I don't know.
Whereas nowadays, you're looking at a 4K TV, and everybody's phone takes phenomenal pictures.
Yeah, but Tom, your thing is like you don't like anything unless there's a technological aspect.
Well, I'm just
to
saying, why did people hate it before, but now they love it?
I think these sitcom writers were just misanthropes.
Maybe. I think part of it too, and this is real, I think people used to take a lot fewer pictures, so they would spend more time on the pictures,
which is cool.
But now you can whittle down the pictures and get really good ones. Because you're not just showing somebody every picture you took. Yeah. You're like, I took 200 pictures, and here's 30 of the best ones.
It's not just, roll was what, 24?
Here's your Aunt Margaret, at the airport waiting for the luggage.
They didn't take pictures of that stuff.
They did. That's the trope.
Yeah, that happened on Perfect Strangers, but that didn't happen in real life.
Then where did it come from?
I don't know. The sick mind of Hollywood writers.
So my alarm clock brightens up the room, but it also plays, instead of that annoying old to wake you up, it plays the sound of birds chirping.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's nice. It wakes me up so gradually. It's lovely.
I used to love that. I can't have that anymore, Tom.
Why
I'm
not?
married, can't have nice things. It doesn't. That's not an alarm
you
clock
get up
that
at different times.
It just doesn't work for two people.
No, why not?
We get up at different times.
That's what I just asked.
And also it does, like, you need to be, like, if somebody's in your way, if it's on the other side of the bed, they say, like, it works best if, like, you're facing, if you sleep on your side, put it on the side or sleep on the side that's facing the alarm clock, because it hits your eyelids.
That makes sense.
There's some schmo in your way.
Well, look, Tim, mine's 100. First off, I don't know if your wife would appreciate being called some schmo.
No, I say that because it would definitely be on my side of the bed because I bought it.
Oh, I see.
I'd be the schmo. It was self-deprecating. It wasn't being mean to my wife. It's funny that that's where your mind went, though, Tom. You have a problem with my wife?
We'll talk about it afterwards.
She's got a problem with you.
I've
been waiting for you to say this because I have a list of things that she wanted me to bring up to you.
That she's been begging.
But she was just like, wait for him to make the first.
Right. And then unleash this on him and put me on speakerphone.
She's always on speakerphone. She's on speakerphone.
Well, I know about the rules that you've been given.
What, were you talking?
Yes.
Okay.
So the alarm goes off, and this alarm clock, it's like a touch thing. I just have to tap it, and it will snooze for 10 minutes. And I think it progressively snoozes for less and less time.
Hold on.
What?
You have this alarm clock that gently wakes you up with a light that gradually comes on and bird song.
Yeah.
And you need to snooze?
Sometimes I haven't gotten enough sleep.
What a sick freak.
Sometimes I haven't gotten enough sleep, and I'm still tired.
They should cart you off, throw you in a hole, bury it, and fill the hole in.
What?
Bury you alive, yeah.
No, I'm not proud of it. I don't want to hit the snooze button, which we'll get to when we talk about life hacks. But sometimes I do. And this morning when I got up, I hit the snooze. I go back to sleep. It wakes me up again. I hit the snooze button. It wakes me up again. I hit the snooze button. Wakes me up again, like immediately. I'm like, what the hell? And one of the buttons hasn't been working right. So
some $100 piece of crap.
It turned out there was a goddamn owl outside my window.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was an owl going, hoo, 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 that kept waking me up. And I thought it was the alarm clock.
There was an owl outside your window.
It sounded like an owl. It was saying, hoo, hoo. Because
you didn't inspect further?
No, because I didn't know what the hell was going on until I heard like flap, 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 like big flapping happening.
Big flapping happening. That's not what. That sounds like an owl to me, and you gotta move.
Yeah,
owls are terrifying. I'm not afraid of bears.
Uh-huh.
I'm not afraid of sharks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of owls and squirrels.
Yeah. Well, an owl could help you with your squirrel problem, though. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That's true. No, you ever see an owl up close?
Yeah.
Have you, though?
Yeah, on like field trips.
Yeah. I saw one just standing in the road at a campground one time, like a year ago. I still see it when I close my eyes.
Owls aren't going to go after you. They go after mice. Are you a mouse?
Mousy. Cute.
That is how you've been described frequently, as mousy. So, yeah, that was my morning routine this morning.
I don't think you know what routine means.
Well, it wasn't my normal.
You might have heard an owl one time. That's not your morning routine.
Well, I'm actually looking to get my morning routine more streamlined, because my morning routine right now is not great. Let me tell you what my morning routine is. I wake up. The first thing I have to do is put clothes on and take my dog outside to poop and or pee.
You should just learn how to use the toilet, Tom.
I know how to use the toilet. My dog doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to pee before she can even go out, which kind of feels like a jerk thing, because she's like, I woke you up because I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Now you're going to go first.
Yeah. She wakes you up?
Sometimes.
You let your dog push you around?
She
wakes you up before the birds and the owls wake you up?
Sometimes. Only really when she has to poop. When she has to poop, she can't wait.
Okay.
She's got a huge bladder, I think, because that never is a problem. But if she comes over and is like, we got to go out, she talks. That means pooping. So I go out, I take her outside. It takes about 10 minutes or so.
That stinks. I would resent my dog.
Well, don't get a dog then.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not happy about it all the time, but I don't resent her. I don't blame her.
Yeah, but you can not blame her, but you can resent her. You can resent the fact that this is your life because of her.
Yeah, but on the other end, it does get me up and out of bed. Because, I'm thinking, well, if I don't get up, she's going to poop on the floor. Then I'm going to have to clean that. So I'd rather just go outside. Right. It's not terrible.
I think you've hit your limit for the number of times you can say poop this episode. Okay?
I don't think so. We'll see where this goes later when I get further into my morning routine. I
was really trying to cut you off at I knew that's what was going to happen.
No, actually, let me clear the air right away. I don't normally poop in the morning.
Okay, cool. That's all you need to say about it.
I wish I could. I wish I could get on that schedule. So I walk her. I come back inside. I make 6 cups of coffee.
Really?
Well, like, what they say are cups.
Yeah, which is a cup.
6?
It's the measurement of a cup. It's not like a mug full.
Right. It's not a mug of coffee. With that, I put 4 of the 6 cups into my 16-ounce thermos.
You leave that thermos open so it could cool down a little bit?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Sometimes I just open it at work to let it cool off. And then I have 1 cup of coffee, usually while looking at social media or something. And then I go and take a shower and get ready that way. And then I meditate if I have time for 20 minutes. And then I get up and go out. Now, some days I have to move my car in the morning. And those days I move my car.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought of being proactive in moving your car the night before?
It doesn't really work. I'd have to change my whole schedule to do it that way. Because the way I do it now, I'm moving it from a spot where it's fine until 11:30. I'm moving it from there to a spot that you can't park 8 to
Tom,
10.
I'll interrupt you there. I regret asking the question, and I withdraw.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do have to move it one afternoon a week. One afternoon a week, 2 mornings a week. That's when I have to move my car around. And then I get on the subway, I go to work, and then when I get to work, I drink that coffee that I made.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my morning routine. What is your morning routine?
Oh no, I screwed it up already. My morning routine. My alarm goes off. I have an alarm that I set on my phone. Goes off.
Use your phone. You don't have like a thing on your desk or on your nightstand?
You know, I did.
Yeah.
And then this is embarrassing.
Okay.
The AC or the DC adapter like got screwed up.
Yeah.
So I had to buy a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't. And it's been like 6 months that just an alarm clock that's not plugged in has been sitting on my bedside
just
table.
gotta go to Radio Shack. They can fix that in a jiffy.
Tom, get this. There used to be a Radio Shack right near my apartment.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
Well,
this
they
place
all
called The
closed,
Shack.
Right?
It's a cool place called The Shack. Remember? They thought that was going to happen?
Yeah.
Anyway.
They thought having the word radio in their store
That's
was
what was
the
holding
problem.
them back, yeah. My alarm clock goes off at 5:56.
One time a guy soldered things for me at Radio Shack. I was very appreciative.
Did he then try to get your address?
No, this was like before they did that kind of stuff, I think.
Man, they really turned into a weird business.
Yeah,
like
it
for a
was
while
like-
they were like, "Hey, this is you can get stuff that you need here. We're like
Right.
a niche store, but we're a chain." And
We got all different adapters and converters. That's what we do here. Batteries.
yeah, and
Weird. You need something electronic and weird and small. We've got it.
Then it just became a scheme to get your address and phone number so they could sell it to people.
Yeah, or try and get you to switch to Sprint.
Yeah, nobody's ever switched to Sprint. Not one person has ever switched to Sprint.
Yeah. So, this one time I needed an adapter that they didn't have, and the man sold me all the parts for it and then built it himself with a soldering iron. This is like in high school.
Really? What were you trying to make? Some sort of weapon to...
No, it wasn't a weapon. It was a...
Because I remember you were always threatening kids at school.
Threatening anything. It was a power adapter for like a webcam. And I don't know why I didn't have...
Where were you putting the webcam,
though? Just on my desk.
You saw American Pie, and you were like, I got an idea.
Yeah. No, I forget why. If I remember why, I'll let you know later.
Okay. Please interrupt me, no matter what I'm saying.
Okay.
My alarm goes off. It's 5:56 a.m.
That's what time you get up?
I sometimes bound out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll change into my running clothes.
I didn't say, by the way, I get up at 8 a.m.
Okay. Must be nice.
Sometimes I hit snooze.
Go to the gym down the street from my home.
Every day?
I run for a bit.
Uh-huh.
A couple miles. Come back. Take a shower. Meditate.
Mm-hmm.
It's about that time. My wife is waking up. I'll make myself some oatmeal. I'll put some blueberries, variety of nuts, some ground flax.
I put some blues on.
Sometimes I'll put on like what's a big record? Willie Nelson Stardust.
Yeah.
You ever listen to that in the morning?
Did you say what's a big record?
That's a big record I've been listening to a lot in the morning. It's a nice thing. I'll do that. So, sometimes I'll drink the athletic greens before I go for my run.
Yeah.
I take my variety of medicines, or not.
I take the 3 dozen medicines that keep me alive.
I take some vitamins. Vitamin B complex.
You get that
D.
now. You get that shot in your butt, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A team comes over every morning. Because I scream. I need 3 people to hold me down.
Well, one person plunges a syringe into your ass cheek.
At that point, I'll get dressed. I'll brush my teeth. Actually, I brush my teeth before. Usually, I brush my teeth before the run with a handheld, a regular and analog.
Yeah, I get it.
And then after I've had my breakfast, I'll use the
Okay, I'm glad you made the noise.
The electric.
Yeah.
And then off to work for me around 8 a.m.
Okay.
That's Monday usually, and Tuesday. If I stay up on Monday night, anytime after 9 p.m., I just sleep till 8 o'clock on Tuesday and like rush, maybe shower, put some clothes on, and just like walk out the door.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you? You were talking about friend of the show Garfield the cat earlier. Do you hate Mondays the way Garfield does?
I don't hate them. I fear them.
How so?
Well, you know me. I don't like having to do anything ever.
Right.
Right? And like this is not like I feel like, remember when Office Space came out in the 90s and it was the joke when it's like, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And he'd be like, if I won the lottery, I'd just do nothing. Like, I think that's what I would do. I was visiting friends of ours who just had a baby, and our friend, she was saying, yeah, like it gets like really isolating because I'm just like, you know, the baby sleeps a lot during the day, but like, you know, but it's just you don't do anything all day. It's not like a lot of active time, but it's mostly
but
just,
you gotta be at the ready.
Yeah, and I was just like, nobody's asking you to do anything except for the baby. Like, why don't you just watch TV all day? Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah. Well, what are they doing?
I don't know, they're like, that
They're
does
not
get
watching
monotonous.
TV all day.
They're not watching. They're not TV people. They're better than that, Tom.
Come on, get a TV.
Yeah, but like, I think most people are like that, where it's like, yeah, no, that does get monotonous,
Right.
and lonely, and but
Isolating.
me, I'd just be like, hey, why don't you just watch TV? I would watch TV if I had permission to, and like had enough food to keep me going.
Right.
The next 25 years, don't bother me. I'll eat the food, watch TV.
You see, your primary concern is that people would bother you thinking you're not eating the food.
Yeah.
Don't bother. I'll eat the food. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't hate Mondays. But I would like a world when the Monday never came. You know what I mean?
Jesus. You'd like an asteroid to smash into the earth?
No, where like the weekend, my leisure time would last forever.
Yeah.
But then I try to throw myself into the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel friggin' great on Mondays because of this. But if you wake up, you know, before 6 a.m., you can't go to bed at like 11:30 and then do it again. And
you're exhausted.
Like, yeah. So I stink. I'm the worst person on earth. And then maybe Thursday I'll get it back. But
just in time for the weekend to come back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm lucky in that, like, I don't have a 9 to 5, but I don't I like Mondays because usually by the end of the week, I feel like I've screwed up everything. Like I've just gotten like off track with everything that I meant to accomplish that week. So on Sunday, I'm always like, yeah, all right, Monday, here we go. All right, another
time
chance.
to turn my life around.
Yep, time to turn everything around for good.
Yeah.
And that lasts until later that day on Monday.
Yeah. Then
Sometimes it doesn't get that. Sometimes by the time I've gotten to work, that's gone away. But after the break, we'll discuss how to not fall into that pitfall yourself. You're listening to The Complete Guide to Everything, the podcast. All right. So you've heard about how our morning routines work. I don't know why I'm doing this episode so like talking.
I'm telling you, man, we're all thrown off because we recorded late last week, right? So I feel like we just friggin' recorded. I'm sick of it.
We did just record.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what experts say you should do instead of what we do.
Okay.
Now you're ahead of the curve. At least you're getting up early because
Yeah.
some of these people, they wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. I'll tell you,
Mm-hmm.
Bob Iger
Yeah.
wakes up at 4:15.
That's the CEO of Disney,
Yeah.
Walt Disney's son, Bob Iger.
Yeah, it's grandson.
Walt Disney's grandson.
Mickey Mouse's grandson.
Well, the grandson of Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney.
Right.
Bob Iger. 4:15.
Yeah.
What time does he go to sleep?
I don't know. See, that's the thing they don't tell you.
Yeah, but some of these guys are maniacs. Like they sleep like 4 hours a night.
Yeah. Also, see, this guy wakes up and he's what, in his 60s?
Yeah, I would assume.
He wakes up at 4:15. He probably goes to bed at like 8:30 or 9,
Yeah.
right? But and he wakes up and he like exercises, and then like he has an email and phone blackout
Mhm.
until he's done his morning routine. But again, if I were him,
But what if there's a bunch of emails that's like, we lost all the Star Wars movies.
what do you mean?
Like they email him and they're like, we can't find them.
He's not going to
We
know where
lost
they
the
are.
man. He wouldn't know where they are. He's the CEO.
Yeah, the CEO doesn't concern himself with
He
where they keep
keeps
the
them
movie.
all in his vault, the Disney
the
vault.
Disney vault.
Yeah, well, that's usually what he says. Have you checked the Disney vault?
Yeah, and then they do, and they're
And
like,
I-
it's
yeah,
all- it's
sorry,
safe in there."
sorry, Mr. Iger.
Yeah, so that's precisely why, Tom.
Right, he gets a lot of emails that are desperate, like 5 emails, and then the
Yeah.
6th was, we found it. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's freaking Donald Duck's grandson is like, we lost Star Wars. It's like,
Right.
no, you idiot. Check the Disney vault. That's where you keep all the movies.
Well, I was gonna say that's like another.
And the original Muppets. They locked them in the vault.
Well, they'll decay otherwise. I think.
I don't know.
I mean, I
What
think
a
they'll
felt.
decay. Felt decays.
But clothes, they don't keep.
Yeah, the clothes fall apart.
I still wear my army uniform from
Well, and
Korea.
and that's stolen valor, Tim. I've told you that multiple times.
I get discounts at the mall.
A lot of people. So, like, I did some research into people surprisingly even more effective than us, their routines, and one of the big ones that a lot of people have is like no screens in the morning. That they
Yeah.
don't check their email. They don't. I'm assuming since this part, I mean, it in practice doesn't matter, but it's part of the reason why I like having an alarm clock instead of the alarm on my phone, because then my phone isn't in my hand before I'm even conscious. 'Cause
Right.
once you turn off the alarm, it's like, well, let's see what else is on this dopamine device.
Sometimes I forget to turn off my alarm and just immediately go into Instagram. I'll still go like, I always forget why I picked up my phone. Ooh.
But I'm saying that I like having an alarm so I don't pick up my phone right away. That delays me picking up my phone by about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So in reality, but I would love to change that behavior.
What do you
not,
think about this?
Okay.
Keeping
Like
the
I'm not
phone-
gonna split a bed with you, and especially not you and your wife if that's what you're gonna ask.
First of all, why would you rule that out all of a sudden? And second of all, why would you think that I was going to say that?
I thought you were going to say it because you're like, I have an idea. We'll start sleeping in the same bed and then we can keep each other in check. We'll keep our phones on each other's sides of the bed and you'll have to ask the person for
That's
their phone.
not a terrible idea, Tom. I feel like we would fall into a routine where we would just hand each other each phones. It's like, I want my phone, he wants his phone.
Right.
We're gonna do this.
And
Yeah.
we'll both be passing them
Tom
over.
wants his phone? No, what a surprise. No, we're not gonna do that every morning.
Yeah, and then probably your wife would start getting real upset. Like, why is he still sleeping here if you guys are going to pass your phones over my head every morning anyway?
She'd be long gone, Tom. What do you think about putting the phone in the other room?
I mean, it's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
And guess what? I don't have a landline. You have a landline.
Yeah.
See, because I'm just like, well, no, I need my phone. What if there's an emergency?
Yeah.
Someone needs to get in contact with me,
Mhm.
right? And if my phone's in the other room,
Right.
I'm unreachable for 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's not good. I've been ridiculed every time I brought up the idea of getting a landline in my home.
Yeah.
Yeah. By everybody. By my wife, by my parents. And I'm just like, you guys are the reason
You're where I
this.
got the idea for a landline.
You're where I got the idea of being anxious about everything all the time.
You raised me this way.
You made me worried.
You should get a landline. I mean, I have just like a box that I plug in that makes my Google Voice number a landline, and then it's got a regular phone plugged into it.
Do you get any like spam calls all the time? Like, is it as widespread as spam calls on your mobile device?
I don't think so. I think it does filter a decent amount. I think you can also probably just like the phone set it of like to only ring if it's
only ring if somebody's died,
a favorite number or whatever. Oh no,
7,
you know
I
number. Have it set up to do is if it's an unknown number, the person has to talk to a robot before they can talk to me. So it asks them, it's like,
but how does the robot assess if they should put the call through?
I think it just assesses that it's a person. I don't know.
A robot?
It seems to do fine. Can you set your phone to be like, hey, don't make any other noises but ring if a phone call's coming through?
I don't think so. I think do not disturb is if somebody calls twice in a row.
Or if they're a favorite, I think. Oh, so that would do it then.
Yeah.
Because you could just keep the sound on, keep it in the other room, but then have
that
do
wouldn't
not
wake
disturb
me up.
on.
That wouldn't wake me up.
But hook it up to your sound system.
Now that's the first smart thing you've ever said in your whole life.
Just wake you up terrified.
Also, my stupid, both for work and at home, I like if somebody buzzes, it rings my phone.
Oh yeah.
So like, it's New York City.
People are always coming and going out of your apartment all times of night.
No, like some people
knucklehead hits the button.
Yeah, like trying to get into a building, especially like at work. Just like a building in Manhattan.
Yeah,
somebody's gonna be buzzing just up to no good. Buzzes my phone.
Buzzes your phone when somebody's at work trying to buzz it?
Yeah,
Well, that's nuts.
Yeah, my wife, I gotta just smash this thing, man.
Yeah, maybe I don't have a problem with my phone at night, really. Like, I don't look at my phone in bed all that much.
No.
But I do in the morning. Like, I will if I'm tired and I'm like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. I'm like, well, let me check every social media network before I get up.
Yeah.
Another tip about getting up, roll over before you get up in the morning.
What is this, a tip for dogs?
Yeah.
What is this, a tip for Rover?
When you roll over and get up from your stomach, you're putting less strain on your back and neck.
Who cares?
Who cares, Tim? Bob Iger probably rolls over every morning.
Bob Iger rolls over for nobody. You watch your mouth.
Here's a big one that I wanted to talk about. The idea that you should try to set yourself up to make as few decisions as possible in the morning. Because in the morning is when your willpower is at its greatest. You've recharged your willpower because you can deplete it, apparently. And you deplete it by making decisions. So if you don't have to make decisions in the morning, if everything's kind of set up, you don't have to go, oh, what do I want for breakfast? Oh, what do I want to wear today? Oh, should I make my bed or shouldn't I make my bed? You'll have a better day.
My Monday mornings, Tom, you set an Instant Pot. I make my oatmeal in the Instant Pot. It starts. It immediately starts cooking.
Yeah.
At like 5:20. So by the time I'm up, it's ready. The coffee starts brewing before I get up. I got my shorts and my running gear right next to my bed.
Right.
So it's like
some people even say sleep in your gym clothes.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not a friggin' maniac.
Yeah, but think about it. If you wake up and you have to like get out of your gym clothes to put on other clothes.
Yeah, you'd feel pretty shitty.
Yeah, so you'd be like, oh, forget it. I'll just go to the gym.
Yeah. You know what I need? Because
I could name a few things you need.
the toughest thing is putting the shoes on. You know, like if it, like that's the most time consuming part. Power laces.
Yeah, Nike's got them, man.
We're supposed to have them.
They have them. They've got shoes with power laces now. They're expensive and they don't work all that great, and you have to charge your shoes every night. But they do exist. What do you think about the idea of wearing the same thing every day so you don't have to make a decision in the morning about what to wear?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do the similar thing of
deciding the night before.
No, I have 8 shirts, or no, I have 6 shirts that are appropriate to wear out.
Uh-huh.
I have like same amount of sweaters, same amount of pants, and like anything goes with anything.
Right.
So like anything that's clean, I can just grab and put on.
Yeah, that's me for the most part. Like I don't have to expend that much willpower deciding what I'm going to wear.
Yeah.
It's like, these are the shirts I wear. And there really aren't that many of them. You're the 3 pairs of jeans that I wear.
Now you have to resign yourself to being that guy that everybody knows just like has a few shirts and a couple pairs of
fine.
pants.
I mean, I don't talk to anybody at my work anyway, so it's fine. I should really just start wearing the same thing every day. It would probably just make everything a lot easier.
I hate that things turned into like life hacky, here's how to achieve like
ultimate
tech
success,
bro dominance.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, that should just be, we should all, like in college, I wore the same clothes all the time because I just wanted to have a uniform. Yeah. I wanted to be like a cartoon character.
Right. Well, and that's what, people say about school uniforms for like private schools and stuff. And
that way nobody feels the need to join a gang.
Right. Which was a need I often felt in school because we were allowed to wear different clothes.
Mm-hmm. I joined the Hells Angels.
Wow, you must have been.
Hells Angel heard me say
one of their
stab me in the neck right now.
One of their youngest members, and especially surprising considering you can't ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, but I'm tougher than all of them. They
oh wow,
they agreed. Do I have to cut that out? Am I gonna?
No, I don't think the Hells Angels are that big of a deal. They're gonna kill both of us. We're gonna be hunted down later this evening.
People are hearing us say this, but they have already heard before the episode. Like, on this week's episode, we just want to make clear that we had some fun at the expense of the Hells Angels. We respect them; they're the toughest guys on earth.
They're the toughest guys going.
We meant no disrespect. We are Hells Angels fans all the way.
Yeah, it was a joke because of how much we respect the Hells Angels. They know that, of course, we would be terrified of them. What about this one? I hadn't heard this one.
You ever hear a podcast where it's like somebody's like, just a programming note. This was taped before the death of so it's like, oh, they talked shit about a recently deceased person.
Haven't heard that because I'm surprised. Like, just pull it if you're.
It's podcast, man. You can't pull it.
Don't put it out. If you've got to record a disclaimer, cut that part out of the thing, or don't release that episode. There.
What if you went off on a really sweet riff?
If it's about somebody who was like recently brutally killed, then save it. You don't have to. That's why we only talk about people who are never going to die on this show, like me and you. The one that I hadn't heard before. Instead of hitting the snooze button, have yourself a big glass of water. Apparently, that's supposed to like wake you up.
No, like you wake up naturally dehydrated. I do know that.
Okay, that makes sense.
However,
because I was also seeing people saying most people wait to like drink water until later in the day, and that's wrong. You should be drinking like first thing in the morning. I see that making sense. I think but that's like saying like, instead of going back into the warm embrace of your slumber, get up and run a few miles. Like, yeah, of course that would be the right thing, but like that's the opposite thing. Like, instead of going back to sleep, don't go back to sleep and do something good. Well, but drinking a glass of water is a lot easier than running a few miles.
It's still harder than going back to sleep.
That's true. But I've never, ever hit the snooze button and been happy.
Oh, I have.
You're happy in the moment, but you never wake up like, oh, that 10 minutes was just what I needed.
Sometimes I set my alarm early knowing that it's going to take a few snoozes.
Yeah, but then you know that going into it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the psychological effect is like if I set it, if I know like, okay, I want to get up at 7, I'm going to actually set my alarm for 6:10. You know, I can snooze a bunch of times, and then by the time I wake up, it's like, fine, enough of this waking up every 8 minutes.
And your wife is probably furious.
Yeah. And how? Shame is really my motivator for getting up in the morning.
Two of the other things I read about, like this goes back to when you're still in bed. Stretch out in bed. Try and like stretch, like make yourself real big. Apparently that helps.
Yeah, it scares bears away, too.
Yeah. And take a big breath, like a real big breath.
I wish I could.
And then blow that breath out like you're blowing out birthday candles, they say.
Okay.
Couldn't hurt.
Couldn't hurt.
But neither of those things could hurt.
Is that so it makes you feel excited like it's your birthday? Oh, it's my birthday today. And then it's by the time you actually get up, you're like, hey, it's not my birthday.
I think it's more that...
But I've already drank this big glass of water, so I'm not going to go back to sleep.
I think it's more about getting a bunch of oxygen in.
Mm-hmm.
Getting yourself primed up with oxygen.
Winston Churchill woke up at 7:30 every morning.
Even when the war was happening?
Yeah.
Come on.
And he stayed in bed until 11 a.m.
Even when the war was happening?
His staff came into him. He ate breakfast and read the newspaper.
Wow. It's a miracle that he wound up defeating the Germans.
So they say that the main thing that most successful people have in common about their morning routines is meditation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read that in a Tim Ferriss book.
Okay.
But I believe it. Especially these days, I think that's going to be a thing. I think I'm going to try to do that for like 2 weeks straight.
You said you do it every morning.
No, I do it on Mondays,
Oh, okay.
and then I sleep until 8 a.m. the next morning.
Yeah, all right.
But like, especially these days, like, just like being like, everybody shut the fuck up for a second.
Oh, yeah, just...
and let me just sit here.
Yeah. No, it's great. No stimulus.
Yeah. If you can be like, it's for my health.
Yeah. No,
but it is.
It is. And that is, yeah, aside from, so I do it almost every day. And aside from the like good effects of actually doing it, there is definitely an effect of like, okay, I need to make sure I have 20 minutes in the morning to do this. So I have to get everything done.
Right.
Because I'm going to give this some importance. And it is kind of that like settling down before the day starts. Yeah, just kind of having a relax before anything even happens.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lazy.
It's great. It's not lazy.
I need to relax. You haven't even done anything yet.
But I'm getting my brain tuned back down so it can rev back up.
There are a lot of articles written in like the
newspaper.
No, like the
magazines.
Yeah, the magazines that are like, here's how to be like Apple and Google, right?
Okay.
You know those magazines?
No. Oh yeah, like a Fast Company.
Yeah, and like Inc. and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just like, here are the morning routines of successful people that you should emulate.
Yeah.
Richard Branson goes into the ocean.
The world's most famous virgin.
Yeah. He swims the perimeter of his private island.
Okay.
And then does some kite surfing before playing some tennis. And that's how he starts every morning. So you should do that if you want to be successful like Richard Branson. Just swim around your private island, kite surfing.
I don't have a private island. I'd have to swim around Manhattan. I think that would take me most of the day, probably.
It would kill you.
Yeah, and I'd die for 10 different reasons.
Your skin would melt off your bones.
Yeah.
Anna Wintour She's the editor-in-chief of Vogue, Tom.
She's the devil that wears Prada.
That's never been confirmed. That's slander. She at 5:45 a.m. she has an hour-long tennis match.
Wait, what?
At the Midtown Tennis Club in New York.
Against who?
Some sycophant.
Yeah.
Some lackey, probably.
So if that happens at 4:45, what time does she wake up?
Just let an underling let you beat them in tennis every morning.
Yeah.
5:45.
5:45.
But also, like, she wakes up and is probably carried to, to her limo.
Well, she's not carried, but yeah, there's a car waiting for her that takes her
They
there.
carry her like Kevin Costner carries Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard.
Well, that would, probably if she just walked herself out of her apartment, she wouldn't need the hour of tennis every day.
Yeah, but that's why she does it.
Yeah. It's how she stays so thin. She's very thin.
Mm-hmm. She wears big glasses.
She does wear big glasses. You think she wears those while she's playing tennis?
Maybe.
Keep her eyes protected?
Yeah.
You have any other are those the only two successful people's routines you have?
What do you mean? Anna Wintour, Richard Branson, Winston Churchill, Bob Iger.
Oh, that's 4 people. I forgot about the other ones.
Jeff Bezos.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't check email in the morning. He has breakfast at home.
Yeah, but he probably has Alexa tell him what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's probably like, Alexa, what's going on? She's like, here's what I found. You bald dummy.
What?
And then he's like, what? But then
what's he gonna do? Fire Alexa at this point?
Well, and then he probably says to his, this is what she said to me this morning. They're like, we checked the logs. There's nothing about that. And he's like, am I losing my bald mind? That's what he's wondering to himself.
Do you think, like, Jeff Bezos must have, like, a team of trusted people under him, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What if they all conspired to make him think he was losing his mind?
Yeah, they could, but I don't think it's in any of their best interests.
Why? They have enough stock, I'm sure, that they could live 1,000 lifetimes like a king, just like him. Right?
Well, why would they want to make him believe that?
Just to take him down a few notches?
No, because these people love him. That's how they got to that position.
No, he's their boss. Nobody loves their boss.
I bet the people that are right under him, I bet they've drank the Kool-Aid 1,000%.
They'd like to put him in an Amazon Prime box and ship him off to Abu Dhabi.
Which is what Garfield wanted to do with Snoopy?
With Nermal.
Nermal? Sorry.
Did Garfield ever meet Snoopy? Maybe in
Not
some
Snoopy.
Like
I
don't do
meant
drugs
Odie.
ad.
Some don't do drugs ad. I meant Odie.
The don't do drugs universe is pretty rich. Like it was like when the Ninja Turtles would meet Heathcliff.
Yeah. And you're like, what? How these sizes don't even match up.
But this is like We Are the World, but for all the Wish Kids there now?
Right. Oh, and they're all animated poorly. They all kind of don't look exactly right. Yeah, I don't think Jeff Bezos people would be interested in gaslighting him for no reason.
To take him down a peg.
They take him down. Some new guy comes in and fires them all and gets his own people in there.
No, maybe they can make him think he's going crazy and they can take over. And then it's like, I'm Bezos now.
Yeah, but then at some point they'd all turn against each other. Also, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, that happens all the time in everything.
Also, it wouldn't work because one of these people would tell Bezos what's going on.
And then guess what? Something happens to that guy.
You kill that guy. That's what you're saying. So now they're getting into murder again for no reason.
To take Jeff Bezos down a peg.
The guy who all these people directly under him are millionaires because of him.
Yeah, but enough.
Billionaires, probably even some of them.
Yeah, and they're probably like, enough is enough. Let's take him down a peg.
They're like, no, wow, this is great. I'm so rich. And
when will enough be enough for these people?
I agree, but I don't think any of them are going to decide on their own. Enough is enough. Let's start gaslighting Jeff Bezos to drive him crazy.
Some compelling points you make, Tom.
If you like the show, you can find out more by going to tcgte.com. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. Follow us on Twitter @complete guide. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim.
And if you want to support the show, go to tcgt.com/Amazon for your Amazon shopping, and check out patreon.com/complete guide for our secondary podcast, Books of Podcasts. This week is week 2 of reading Papa, the story of Papa John's by John H. Schneider. Schnatter. John H. Schnatter. I'm reading it. I'm telling Tim all about it. He's a great man. That was unfairly cast aside by society.
I thought you were saying I was a great man.
No, I'm talking about Papa John. No, he's not a great man. He sucks. And pay us money to find out how. Patreon.com/complete guide. Tim, are you walking away with any new morning routines? Anything you're going to put into practice?
No, because I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
I know what makes me like I do it once a week.
Right.
And it makes me feel great. You know what I need? I need a nighttime routine that works for me, that will convince me that it's okay to, that'll get me.
Well, one of the popular nighttime routines from these maniacs is at night they make a list of everything they want to do tomorrow. You ever do that?
No, because
then you're thinking about tomorrow. It's like, well, I'd like to just enjoy tonight.
Exactly. Like at some point, if everything becomes so goal and achievement based, it's like, when do I relax?
Right.
Just the 20 minutes that I've allotted in the morning for meditation.
Yeah. Well, if you want to become a billionaire, which I know you've frequently said you do, that's what's required.
The reason I stay up late is because I don't want the next day to come.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure as hell not going to make a list where I have to think about the next day. They're just going to make it come even faster, you idiots.
You make a list and then immediately go to bed so it comes right away.
I guess one of the ways to become a very productive person is to not constantly be afraid of the next day.
Yeah, well, we're all working on that, aren't we?
All right. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.